I want to begin my video for March the 1st with a little bit of an announcement. I've been asked by a few people why I'm not making videos right now with Aristo and with Valentine and of course any others. And one of the reasons is because when I make videos with other people that run a half an hour or more in length, they don't get very many views compared to the 10-minute videos that I normally make. And that bothers me a bit. And anyway, I don't know if I will go back to making longer videos or not, but for right now, I try to keep my videos to a 10-minute length because I want to get at least as many people as possible viewing. And I don't want to do anything that jeopardizes the viewership numbers. Anyway, the video for March the 1st, 2018 is entitled New World Order Thwarted by Armed American Patriots. The New World Order is labeled a conspiracy theory by those charlatans who have long planned the worldwide takeover of humanity. Yes, they have also planned population reduction to a manageable 500 million people and announced it on the Georgia Guidestones. Because many get their only information from the so-called mainstream elements of social conditioning like political parties, news organizations, and the like, the brainwashing seems effective except for one thing. American patriots have seen through the deception. In fact, Americans in the US are the most well-armed people on the planet. Of course, this is a thorn in the side for would-be world rulers. While I have never been a gun promoter myself, I appreciate those who are willing to take up arms to defend our natural rights against demonic onslaught. However, there is a new world order I'd strongly support, one that ensures the preservation of the 10 Bill of Rights and the Amendments 11 through 13 of the original U.S. Constitution for all people worldwide. Tyranny by the elite must be stopped. Yes, as I've said in other videos, was the Secretary of State of the Florida Republic, which was a movement to restore the republic form of government. And that doesn't mean Republican and Democrat. It means republic, as the forefathers founded this nation to be free from external influence, especially by the European monarchies in England and in other parts of Europe. And of course, the so-called moneyed elite, like the Rothschilds and others that have run roughshod over human rights around the world for a very long time. I mean, we're talking millennia, not just scores of years or centuries or anything like that, but for millennia, this group of people have been trying to perfect their takeover of the entire population of the world. And that's one of the reasons they want to bring the population down to a 500 million people. And those 500 million that they choose to allow to live will be those that are the most brainwashed and most malleable as far as being able to be indoctrinated with a certain mindset to do what they're told without questioning. Well, I'm one that questions things. Since I was a kid, as I've said in other videos, I have been questioning what I've been told, whether it's religion, whether it's politics, whatever it is. I have been one who thinks outside the box. That's why, as an honor roll student, I was a dropout. And then, as I've said in other videos, I got my GED high school diploma by simply taking tests, and the equivalent of a couple years of college simply by taking tests, because I've always been one who likes to study things. And I don't like to be told what to think or how to think. That makes me incapable of being totally controlled, as so many are. There's always an element of resistance that I raise up, and I wish that was present in a greater percentage of the population, but I do understand the dynamics that are in place, and that in many parts of the world, people have to survive have to find enough food, just to survive as human beings. And they have introduced things to make people sick, and then they've introduced a medical system that makes people sicker and destroys the immune system. When I say they, I'm talking about this elite group of people, the demonic assemblage of people that some say came from a different planet and invaded Earth and brought their poison with them. And they have been running roughshod over human rights, increasingly so as time goes on. And of course, when with the advent of greater scientific achievements and stuff like that, and the ability to reach greater masses of people, they employed those to try to see who they needed to get rid of. That's why, again, the Georgia Guidestones calls for the elimination of at least 6.5 billion people from the planet. It's why they don't actually want to heal anybody. It's why they don't want prosperity for everybody. They want to keep everything for themselves and just have a culture of manageable slaves. And they certainly don't want slaves that are in rebellion. Now, I applaud the slaves that are in rebellion. May we not only win, but may we receive the divine help that is necessary to enable us to win, and may we be empowered with the talents, gifts, and abilities that help us rise up within and without. Not an either or, not just within. We have had a lot of people in our history that have been spiritually well developed, but for the most part, they have not had much of an influence on others. And that needs to change. We need to be able to elevate those who are the free thinkers, who are the ones that are willing to love outside the box and stretch their parameters of understanding, so that they can realize that those that try to limit us by saying there's only one way, and it's our way, there is only one way, and it's to love one another. That's the only way. That's the only way. And you have to understand that people that want to control everybody else are incapable, it seems, of loving. I wish that were different. I really do. I wish we could get repentance for the whole of humanity and all the sentient beings on earth. I wish we could achieve that. Do I believe we can? No, I sincerely don't. I'm not without some kind of a miracle that I don't understand the dynamics of. But anyway, folks, I am really glad to see the elite establishment trying to attack those that are truth tellers, and hopefully that will backfire on them, as many of their other machinations backfire as well, because you can't control truth. Ultimately, the truth has to come to the surface, and there's something in us that causes that to happen, that causes the truth against all odds to rise up and to become aware in our consciousness, so that we can experience the transformation needed individually and collectively. Folks, that's what I make my videos for. That's my intention. And I want to see all of us reach a place where we can turn our lives around and turn literally human society around, so that we're moving in a direction where we build on positive things rather than negative things. I've reached a conclusion in my video, and even though the time isn't up yet, I'm going to say namaste. Thank you for listening.